Hello, ladies. Hey, Tamar, how you doing? Oh, I had a very, very long day, and I need to unwind. So I'm gonna glue. That's how I relax. Glue. Hey, Lisa. I have um, I have this journal, which is a Peacock journal, and I've been working on this off and on for over a year. Yeah, at least. And people know that I like peacocks, and so they send me little tidbits or in swaps and things like that. And I used to have this group. Well, I still have the group, but I'm not doing the swaps over there. Somebody else is doing the swaps for me right now. But it was deconstructed art journaling. And so one time we had the swap that was a peacock. So I entered that swap. And so quite a few of these things came from those swaps. So pretty much everything in here was, given to me one way or another. And so these right here are just some napkins that I put down on a file folder to make the cover. And get some of this out of the way. And so what I did is I would save like the envelopes, any little thing that had to do with either the color of peacocks or actual peacocks. Like these, obviously that's not a peacock, but the colors remind me. And then these little tidbits that were sent to me. So I put those all together on one little card and put that there. So now I only have a few empty spots that need to be filled in. So I thought maybe I'd take the opportunity as I wind down from the crazy day and fill in some of the blanks. And now again, this has nothing to do with the peacock, except the colors reminded me of a peacock. Mm-hmm. And then somebody sent me this watercolor. This is pretty. Maybe I could put that there. I think that would look cool right there. Look how pretty. So I'm just going to do a couple of pages, a couple of glue downs. Let me find some. And now here's like a small place. Maybe I could put some fabric. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, some more stuff down here. I forgot. Oh, that would look cool right there. There you go. I like that right there. I think I'll put that there. But see, that doesn't go. So I need to put something in the back. What? I don't know. Oh, this is pretty. Like that could go on there. And then what can go here? There you go. Cover that up. I need to cut this a little straighter. It's kind of wonky doodle. Very wonky doodle. Today was a gorgeous, gorgeous day. I couldn't believe it. There was no humidity. It wasn't hot. It didn't rain. it was like almost like a perfect day. Unbelievable. I think the high was like 78. I like that there. I think that looks pretty cool. And, we need to enjoy it because it's not going to last very long. We're going to start getting that hot, humid weather soon. That might go. I don't know. Maybe. I'm going to use, I got this strange tape. It looks like masking tape, but it's double stick tape. And I got this at a secondhand store. And it works good. So what are you ladies up to? What have you guys been doing? Oh, no, I can't get the double stick off. Oh, and I eco died all day yesterday. I rest died all day yesterday. I got a lot done. I started a new journal, a tunnel journal. I've never done a tunnel journal before. I've always wanted to do one. So that got started. I'm not going to say when it's going to get finished, but at least it got started. I can't do one thing and just stick to it. I have to move around to different stuff or else I get really bored. So a tunnel journal is hold on. Let me see if I can reach it over here. It's not done, so no judging. A tunnel journal is when you create openings and those openings are progressive and you can see through it like you would through a tunnel. So that's what this is going to be. And you can't see it because I haven't drawn, I've only sketched it out from the pattern I got. But these are leaves and some bugs and stuff. And then this is a butterfly and some flowers. I have to paint them all. And these are more leaves and a butterfly. And then some more leaves, some flowers. There's a big butterfly right here, some more flowers. You're supposed to do it like on, thick, like watercolor paper, give it some substance. But I wanted to do it with my eco-printed papers because, it's nature stuff. And then I wanted all of that to be seen on the blank side of the paper. So we'll see how it looks when it's done. Because, of course, I'm doing it my way instead of the way it's supposed to be done. So we'll see. We'll see. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me glue this down. And boy, I'm running out of all my glues at the same time. Oh, thank you, Lisa. You go to Pinterest, there's quite a few interesting tunnel books, really, really interesting ones. Um, too bad we all just don't have enough time in the day to investigate all these things and figure them out. Okay, come on, tacky glue. Get down. Okay, here for the talk. Tacky glue, come on, come on, come on. Oh, yay. I had some of the ladies come over um, on Saturday. We do some arting together every once in a while, at least once a month, sometimes 2 times a month on a Saturday. So a couple of them came over this past Saturday, and let's see, what was I doing? I was playing with the jelly plate, of course. Anything that's fun and easy, that's for me. And oops, my friend, I don't know if you watch Vicky Ross. She's a real good artist on YouTube. She does live streams and stuff like that. And she told me that she had a lot of pan pastels because I don't. I have like maybe 2 or 3, and they're real neutral looking. And so I wanted to try this technique I had seen, the pan pastels on the jelly plate. So she brought hers over and we played with them. And then she brought over her alcohol inks because I have like maybe 2 or 3 of those too. As you can tell, I don't have a lot of supplies of those kinds. I have paper and fabric, but the other kind of supplies, I don't have so much. Anyway, so I have a little bit of everything, but not like a variety. So I knew she had a whole bunch. So she says, "Oh, okay, I'll bring the alcohol inks and I'll bring the pan pastels." I go, "Woohoo, we're gonna have fun." So we did. We played with the jelly plate, with the pan pastels, and then I did some stuff with the inks. I mean, with the alcohol inks. Oh my goodness, that was so fun. I need to get some colors now. I cannot wait. If you guys have alcohol inks, you have a jelly plate, you need to start playing with that and stencils. Oh boy, too much fun. Okay, now how am I going to put this down? Do I want to? No, I can't glue it down because I put something on the back. It's got to have a hoo-hoo thing like that. So, do I want to do it with fabric or tape? Oh, the fabric looks pretty cool. How about that? I could put it down like that. Yeah. Why don't I do that? Okay. I'll use this tape. You have all that stuff. Oh, Lisa, you have. Hold on. Let me see. Where is. You need to play with it. Because this is what I did. Let me get my papers that I did with the jelly plate. I can't like do it because I don't have the inks to show you how to do it. But this was just a one to clean it off, to clean the jelly plate with. So that doesn't really count. Oh, but it is a peacock. Hello. I need to put that in my journal. It's a peacock feather. Okay, look at this. Look how pretty. This was a stencil. Okay, so what you do, you put the stencil on a clean, as clean as you can get it, your jelly plate. Put the stencil down. And which did I do first? There's an order to it, and I can't remember what the order is. Let me think. Let me think. I should have put like a number. Okay. I put like 3 or 4 different colors of ink and just sprinkled it out on top of the stencil. Then I got the brayer and just kind of mushed it all over on top of the stencil. Then I took a piece of paper to blot it, and that's what uh-huh. I think when I blotted, yeah, I think when I blotted it, it's this one. And that's what you get when you blot the ink on top of the stencil. So then you lift it up, and then I lifted it up. I let it completely dry because it had pooled underneath the stencil. So you let it completely dry, which, dries in a couple of seconds. And then once it's dry, I put some gold over it and gold acrylic paint, and then did this lift. And I was like, oh, I was all disappointed. So then I was just going to clean it. To clean it, I put white on the top. And this is what the second pull did. And look at that. How cool is that? So that was really cool. That was that one stencil. Then I used the Peacock stencil. Kind of did the same thing. It kind of went underneath. And did I get another one? I think I've used some of the stuff, so I don't have like all 3 pages. Like this is the one that it got. This is the one I used to blot it up because a lot of it pulled up on the top. So this is the one I blotted it with. And then I lifted it up and then let it dry. And then I put some white paint on top. And that was the pull for that one. And then these, whoops, where's the other ones that came with that? Uh-oh. I don't know where they are. Well, anyway, this is one that after I lifted, this is after I already lifted it up and put some white paint to do the pull. That's that one. This was the first pull with the white paint, and nothing really happened. And then I think because I put too much paint or something. And this is the same one. This is the second pull. This is the second pull. And look how cool. I put a little bit of white and a little bit of gold and pulled that up. I thought that was super cool. This is my favorite. We used the black ink, black and just a little bit of the blue, a tiny bit, and lifted it up. And I can't remember if this is the first or the second. Okay, so this is, I think I blotted. This is the one I blotted the top with. Then later on, I came back and just put the gold on that. So that was the blotted one. And then I pulled it with this one. And then I did the last pull. I put red over it and did that. Oh, and then this one is, I don't know if this was second, third. I get confused of which is which. But these are all from, almost all of them. You do 3 different pulls, Anyway, it is super fun. They come out really pretty, obviously. I mean, I think they're pretty. I think they're super cool. So I spent a lot of time doing that. That was very relaxing. And you should try that. And then we did the pan pastels. And again, we put the we put the, oops, we put the, what do you call it? The stencil. Okay, I'm losing. I'm already getting too relaxed. It's going to be a short video. I got the pen pastel. No. Excuse me. I got the, you know what I'm trying to say. I can't even find my words right now. The stencil. Hello. I got the stencil. And then we just colored in all of the stencil with the pen pastel. And I just used, you know, the, what do you call that little thing? The cosmetic sponge. Just did that and went inside of all the little nooks and crannies. And then pulled it up, pulled the stencil up. And the pan pastels, they just really stick to that jelly plate. Again, it needs to be pretty clean because it needs to, stick to the jelly plate itself. And then you come back and, put some kind of paint over it and do the pull. And oh my goodness, it was so pretty. I think they're in the other room. I'll get them in a second. They came out so cool. So anyway, the thing is, get your jelly plate out and start using things that you wouldn't normally use on them, because I know at the beginning they used to say, oh, don't do this, don't do that, it's going to... No. You can do everything with your jelly plate, because even the company itself that makes the jelly plate, they do all these videos and they're doing all this crazy stuff. So I think they've learned that, their product is indestructible. And they're not going to be having to replace your jelly plate for giving you bad advice. Hello, Cindy. Patricia, I better look up. Hi, Patricia. Who else? Luz. Hi, Luz. How are you doing? I'm just working on my Peacock journal, and it's all made up from Happy Mail type stuff. People know I like peacocks, and I get peacocks flying in from all over the place. So I'm just unwinding from a long day and losing my thoughts. Excuse me. So what else can I put on here? I made this postcard. Isn't that kind of cool? You guys could do this. These are so fun and so easy. All this is I can't remember the game. It was some game, and they have a bunch of cards in the game. And I got it at a resale shop. And then I just with the gel plate again, I just put a bunch of colors on the gel plate. Just put it down, so it didn't matter, just so I could get it painted really fast. And then the rest of the stuff, I just went and cut out different pieces from different napkins, and that's what all of that is around there. That right there is a stencil that I used, but the rest of the stuff, it's just napkins, and those are really fun postcards to make. Or if you're not going to use them as a postcard, to use them for other stuff. But when I initially made them, I mailed them out as postcards. They were fun to do. All right, maybe I'll put that in here somewhere. Maybe after that's dry, it will go in here somewhere. That might look cool in there. Let's put that there just in case. And we gotta put something here somewhere. That's too matchy. Maybe that'll go there. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Now this one I made, I had sent out in that swap we were doing. This was the one I sent out to partners. So I just made an extra one for myself, but that's that same stencil that I used with the alcohol. I like how that came out. And then I just drew a lady that I drew a lady that had a peacock eye. Oh dear. Oh, space. Okay. Let's see what we're going to put here. I got some more stuff down here. These are those that I made from the stamps that other day that we were playing around. Maybe I'll use some of those too. And then here's a whole other envelope that this very nice lady sent me. Some really cool stuff. Her name's Lynn. Look at that. Look how pretty. I was thinking of saving this for a book, though. You know, another type of journal that I might make. Yeah, I don't think I want to use that in here. It's too pretty. These are more like, you know, scrappy art pieces that we've done. Let's see what else is in here. Oh, I like that. See, it's got the colors of the peacock. Colors of the peacock. Aha! Mrs. Peacock. See how clever she was, all the stuff she put together? Oh, and then there's some paper. But I need some background paper. Man, there's just so much stuff in here. I gotta get cracking and make a journal with this stuff. You know, the biggie kind. Oh, wait a minute. Look at that. Oops, sorry. Woohoo, pretty. Okay, so between all that, I'm gonna find something. I don't know what. That's kind of cute. I like that. Maybe she needs to go there. Yeah. Oh, that's from Clue. She needs to go right there. She's got a home. She has a home. Uh-oh. Here comes the hard part. What time is it already? It's getting there. I gotta be somewhere early in the morning. I'm not usually a morning person, but I'm going to have to be tomorrow. Yay! There she is. And uh-oh, looks like most of these things are full. Oh, there's room for somebody right here. Maybe. Oh, look how cute. It's funny when you don't look at things and then you come back. It's like it's the first time you ever saw it. I'm going to put her right there. Just for that. She is going there. And then I'll go get those papers that we did with the pen pastel. Show it to you. Here comes the embarrassing part. Ooh, I got one. What do you know? I'm going to get a new storm door with a screen door slash storm door, you know, kind of the door, the windows that go up and down with the screen. And then I won't be having any birds flying in with my open back door. Oh my goodness. Okay, I like her there. That works for me. Let's see what other pages do I have that I gotta fill in. Well, that's got stuff, but it looks a little empty. They're all pretty full. Maybe a little spot right there. Ooh. A shockaroonie because it's not the color, but it's these beautiful feathers. I like how that looks. I don't like the straight edge, so I might have to tear that. Yes, that speaks to me. I'm not sure what it's saying, but it's definitely speaking to me. All right, we'll get the glue down. Then I'll go get those papers for you, because I might have to hit the road. Whoa. Watch what you're doing, Rosemary. Where's the lid? Alrighty, I like that there. Ooh, there's room there too. See how distracted I get all the time? See, I like that there too. Oh, let's just glue it. Let's just glue it down. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, I'm unwinding. I had a busy day today, and I said, okay, I need to glue a little bit. So let's glue a little bit so I can unwind. If anybody is looking for piano rolls, hello. Go ahead and I don't know if you I think you can. Um Hi Cindy. Already said hello to you, Cindy. Put your if some sometimes you can put links. Sometimes I can't even put links myself. Go ahead and put a link in there to your shop. So they can go see all the cool stuff you got, and particularly if they want some piano rolls. See if you can put the link in there. Because I think, who is it? I think it's Johnny that was talking about offering a class and making journals or something. I don't quote me. Somehow I think I remember that she was going to put together a class. I don't know if she already has or she was going to, making them with the piano rolls. So obviously you need a piano roll if you're going to do the class. I'm putting a class together, but that's just for here in my studio. But I think she was going to do hers online because I already got me a few. I'd have liked more, but I can't be selfish. I did get a few. I like that. I like how that came out. All right, let's see what else. Oh, here, look, woohoo, plenty of room. Maybe the foot needs to go there. Aha. I like the foot there. This is okay. This is working out just fine. I said I was going to stop and I didn't, but this is the last page over here. So I'm going to stop after this and I'll go get those papers. Where's Darla? Yeah, where is Darla? It's past Darla's bedtime. That's for sure. Hold on, let me give you one and see if you can put it in because the other day, forget where I was, I'm one of their moderators and it wouldn't let me put a link. It was very strange. Hold on and let me wrench you and see if you can put it in. Okay. Okay. Oh, see? Oh, there it is. It popped up. Hello. See, when I go to other groups, it doesn't let me do it. I don't know what the difference. It must be the settings that they have their channel on or something. I don't know. Oh, this foot's a little long over here. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, well. I'll cut it after it's dry. Woohoo, I like it. Okay, hop on over there if you guys are interested in getting piano rolls. She's got the scoop for you over there. Okay, I like how that looks. Yay! Okay, so let me go and, ooh, I like how that looks too. Where would I put that? Maybe just like that. It looks cool just like that. And then if we put a little bit of silk on there. A little bit of silk. And then you can write a little note or glue something in there real cute. Ta-da! Yes, yes. I know I said I wasn't going to do anymore. I lie. I lie a lot. Okay? All right, let me put that right there. Alrighty. Yes, ma'am. All it is file folder. It's a file folder, and then I just tie it up, and you know, it's a file folder, and then the spine, it's fabric. So what I did is the base for all these pages are these swaps that I was in, and what we would do is we would get an 8x8 piece of anything, and usually it was a file folder, an 8x8, and it would fold, and it would fit, in a regular size envelope, and we would have different types of themes and stuff, and we would, um, swap them with one another. And I think 2 different times we did peacocks. So that's when I joined. That was the only time I joined. It was my group, but it was the only time I ever joined. Usually was when it was that type of a theme. And then we got them, and I showed a binding, but it was a binding with them closed, because we called it deconstructed art journaling, because you would get all these different pages from people, and then we would put them together. But then when I was doing this one, I thought, I think I want them open just to be different. And so what I did is, and it's been a while, I forget what I did. But anyway, I sewed a piece of fabric on the end of each one of them and created a hinge. I forget what I did first or what I did second. I never remember quite. But anyway, there's the hinge. And then I created 2 signatures because it was kind of thick. And then I can't tell where they begin or end. I just don't know. Anyway, I made 2 signatures, and sewed them. Oh, here it is. Here's one. Here they are. There they are. So this is a signature, and this is a signature, and this is a file folder. And then I put a piece of fabric to connect the 2 pieces of the file folder, and then sewed those 2 stitches in there. And that's how this is put together. Jennifer! Yes, Jennifer, you got to go check her piano rolls are to die for. Okay, so what I'm going to do, hold on one second. I want to go get those papers that I did the pan pastels with before it gets too late. All right. So these were done with the jelly plate also. And so we got the stencil. Well, you can see some work, some didn't. Anyway, okay, so we started off with a clean jelly plate, as clean as possible. Put the stencil on top of the jelly plate, and then we got the pan pastels and just went in, all the openings of the stencil. And then pulled off the stencil, put a coat of whatever color I paint. This particular time I used gold. This was the first pull, and I was really disappointed. I go, oh my goodness, nothing came up. So I go, okay, let me just do a cleanup. And this was the cleanup. So for whatever reason, I noticed that with the pan pastel and with the ink, we're the ones with the ink. I've lost everything. What do I do with those now? Oh, over here. Whether it was the ink or the pan pastels, the second pull, for me anyway, came out better. I liked it better. So that's what this is. Here again, this was the first pull. Very disappointed. And then this was the second pull. And then this is the second pull from different colors that I used. So it's a lot of fun. So I would suggest for those of you my feather duster. I would suggest that you guys try, because I know a lot of you have a lot of supplies that you don't use, sometimes because you just aren't aware of the various ways that you can use them. So get your pan pastels, and even if you don't have the pan pastels, you can also use the stick pastels, and you can just kind of draw it in there. So that would be pretty cool to use. And then if you have any of those alcohol inks, whether it's the Ranger ink or the Pinata inks, and there's a couple other brands, these are the cool stuff that you can do with those alcohol inks. So, get them out, experiment with them, and see what you come up with. You'll surprise yourself. I surprised myself. I had never used them before like that. That was a blot. That was the blotting one. But you'll come up with a whole bunch of stuff. No, this isn't tracing paper. Well, this is it's sort of like a deli paper, I guess. But it just happens to be like a parchment color. Well, a little lighter. It's more yellow than parchment, but These are just plain copy paper, and then these are deli paper. But what was really cool is that when I did them on the deli paper, I don't know if you're gonna see it. It all wrinkled up because it was so thin, and it made it look even cooler. It looked like it was on stucco or something. Yeah. I like how this came out. So I can only imagine, when you collage with this stuff, it'd be pretty cool. It'll be real cool. Well, ladies, I think that's all I have. Unless you guys have questions, you know me, I have, if I don't have the answer, I will make it up. I will. Oh, I got to put this away. I've decided I'm going to make a serious, another journal, but a more serious one. When I say serious, I mean not filled with, all the artwork of other people, but one that, I have to put my stuff in there. I don't know why I call that serious. I guess because it'll make me nervous. Because I have to put my stuff in it. Oops, I got to cut this off before I put it away. It's got all that glue. The paper that I used, the alcohol ink, all of these are just plain copy paper. And for playing around, I get 2 different kinds of copy paper. For stuff that I'm just going to mess around with, really, really mess, I just get the cheapest I can get. And the thinnest. I don't really care. But the ones when I'm doing my eco printing, because I do eco print on some copy paper, because you do need some thinner ones, in the journals. And that one I do get, what is the weight? I think it's 24 or 28, something like that. It's a little, just not that much, but just that little bit of difference in weight makes the biggest difference when it comes for you, coffee dyeing or eco dyeing or whatever kind of, work you're going to do as far as manipulating your paper and wetting it and things like that. I would strongly suggest getting something over, 24 weight. I think, it's pretty cool. Wait 1 second. I know, I'm keeping you on hold all the time. Hold on. These are some of the ones I did yesterday. And you'll see the difference in papers. It's the same batch, it's the same everything. But when you get different kinds of papers, it really does give you, I don't know if you'll be able to see the difference. I can see the difference here. Like for instance, all of these are mixed media. You can tell by this because I pulled them all out. So these are all mixed media paper. But this stuff here is a watercolor paper. And it just prints different. The colors are different. They're, I would say, several shades more vibrant than the other papers. And then of course, if I did in this particular batch, I didn't use any of the copy paper, but it would have been, another toned down version of this bright color. But the 32, I'm not sure. I don't remember what cardstock is, to tell you the truth. All my paper is way back in the other room. Um, like this paper, let me see, I do have my copy papers are all over there. Like, okay, like this one is what this is. And this is 98. That's what this is. And this is my favorite. I think my favorite weight for the Eco Dime. And then if you use, where is that? And if money was no object, if money was no object, this is my favorite paper. But as you can see, for 20 sheets, it's $11. So and I sell my papers. So you can see right there that what the paper costs even before I've done anything. So my profit margin goes, you know. So I usually will use this paper for myself more than if I'm going to be, more than I do for the papers that I sell, because I got to keep, the price down so that people can buy them. But if it's just for yourself, I would use the printmaking paper by Strathmore. And it comes in around three different, at least at my store, it comes in about 3 different sizes. So the trick is, get it when it's on sale or coupon and stuff like that. That's when I try to stock up and get that. But yeah, look at these. I mean, these came out super cool. You probably can't really, appreciate it over, over the video. But I mean, this is just electric live. This one here is just so cool. And I get excited every time I do a batch. I mean, every time, because they're never the same. I was just telling my husband, I was looking through all my stuff that I've accumulated. And I said, I've I've tried a little bit of everything to see what I really, really like. I mean, it's taken me several years to, kind of whittle down, what it is exactly are my favorite things. And these are just cleanup papers. These are the ones I put on the bottom of the pan, but I love to use these in my grungy journals. And, so I told him, I said, I think I'm going to just start slowly getting rid of the stuff that I know is not my favorite things to do. I mean, I have the stuff in case I need it or in case I want to do something, but it isn't like it's my favorite, fall to kind of thing. So I guess I'm going to have to start doing that. Now, these were envelopes I had. And I tried, this is crepe myrtle, the flower of the crepe myrtle. And it's weird, it just does brown. It was a beautiful, beautiful pink, but all it does is do brown. See that, you can see that if you know crepe myrtles, you can see that right there. Brown. And more brown. Oh, thank you, Sabrina. Thank you so much. Thank you, Laura. I love these papers. I'm just so, I am kind of addicted to the papers. I could just not even do anything with them and just look at them. That's how bad I am. Oh, dear. And my trees out in the front, they've got all their leaves now. And so I'm starting to pull those out. But unless I'm looking for brown, those crepe myrtles, you know, they're not the prettiest as far as what printed blue. Oh, that's cabbage. These are all just, that's just cabbage, red cabbage. That's what that is. And then some of the blue in here, I have a, I don't, they're called, the plant's called something different in different, even in different parts of the United States. So I don't know what they're called in Canada. But here they're called Rose of Sharon, but they're in the hibiscus family. And the ones, they have different plants that have different colors. The one that I happen to have is pink, but the pink prints blue. So they just started blooming. So I have several months, and they'll bloom now until the first frost. And then when the first frost comes, well, that's, gotta wait till next year. So I have a lot of those flowers, and I have like maybe 3 of those bushes. And then I did on one of these somewhere, I did the hydrangea. In the past, it has printed. They must be too young. I mean, because they just started blooming. And I didn't really see where it printed, to tell you the truth. So I'll have to wait a little bit longer. This is the leaf to a mimosa tree. That lighter green right there. That's what that is. This right here is the leaf to the hydrangea. And that's mimosa again. Hydrangea. This is a big old weed that grew in my yard. I don't know what it is. It's a weed, but it gives this big leaf. And it used to be very annoying to me until I started printing, and now we're friendly. I leave him there. I don't pull him out. I let him grow. That's the same leaf from that big old weed. See how we're buddies? He's pretty. This is the leaf. I can't remember how you pronounce this flower. It starts with an Heu something something something. You ladies that know flowers, you know what it is. Oh, I forget how you pronounce it. I can't see all the letters in my mind. I know it's Heu or Hue. Anyway. And so that's that. And I just used this, on this particular batch, I just used the same flowers over and over. I picked a whole bunch of the same leaves and the same flowers. And so maybe tomorrow, if I get back in time, I'm going to do another batch of different plants that I still have in the yard. And I'm going to go cruising down to my little haunts that I like to look in the open fields and get stuff. Oh, some people like to drink. You're my kind of people. Oh, yeah. Only thing I really like, I shouldn't say only thing I really like. Yeah, it is the only kind of drink I like. I do like margaritas. That's pretty much my go-to. I like that. Other than that, I can kind of take it or leave it. All the rest of the stuff. I know Barb knows how to live. Okay, Rosa Sharon. Oh, okay. So you call it's called Rosa Sharon up there too. Because see, when I lived in California, we didn't call him Rosa Sharon. And then here in the mid, where I am now, that's what they call him. So I thought, okay, they call him different things all over the place. See, Laura says too, she likes the margaritas. What flavor margaritas do you guys like? I like the mango margaritas. I think they're my favorite. And then when I lived in Hawaii, they would put on the rim of the mango margarita, it's called lihimoi. And it's sour. I mean, it makes you pucker. Let's put it that way. Your mouth is and your face is going in all kinds of directions when you drink that limoy. But then, you put that instead of putting the salt, they put the limoy, and it's pretty good. Let me tell you. Barb, I was born in Corona. I don't live there anymore. But CJ, where did she come from? Ooh, it gives you luck. Seriously, the cold or the fact that it's cold or it's the kind of liquor in it. Yes, I know exactly where you are. Yep. I was born in Corona. I lived there till I was around 17. Then moved down to Escondido, which is just north of San Diego, and stayed there till I was about 30. And I got married when I was about 29. And then my husband's work took us various places, and after that, I can't keep up where I've lived. I've been all over. The liquor. Oh, wow. Hmm. My husband he used to like, about the only thing he really will, yeah, Kyoki coffee. He liked that. It's that hot, it's hot coffee with what is it? Irish cream or Bailey's or something, like two or three different liqueurs in there. And he used to like that, but he could only drink one. He's a lightweight. He can't drink. And now he doesn't drink at all. Um, Here, the poor guy, he hardly ever drank until maybe in his 40s. He started liking like microbrewing and stuff like that. And he found out that he has cirrhosis, and the doctor says it's the non-alcoholic cirrhosis. His father had cirrhosis, even though his father was an alcoholic. But so he can't drink anything anymore. And he laments. He goes, "Man, I should have drank when I could have when I was younger." I said, "Yeah, but you might have, made it progress, quicker than it did naturally." So he's all bummed. He wasted all those years. Mm. Okay, ladies, if that's the last of your questions, I'm going to go let my dog out. I'm going to go let the dogs out. It's a beautiful night out there. I'm afraid they might go chasing my little bunny that lives in. I have a little bunny that lives underneath my studio. Well, I had several of them. Some are gone. I hope they just, escaped somewhere and didn't, meet up with dire consequences. But so I'm always afraid at night. Oh no, please, bunny, stay under the house when I let my dogs out. And they have a little section, because right where my studio is, between the studio and the house, it is fenced off. So dogs can't come into that little, it's a small little yard, and the dogs can't get into that area. I don't want them trampling over my plants and stuff. But you know, a cat that brings in bunnies, what a little vicious thing. That's one vicious cat. He must be big and fast. Well, we have a lot of squirrels because our yard has a lot of trees, and in particular, we have a pecan tree. So that means all the squirrels in our neighborhood think, our yard is their yard because it's like a smorgasbord. Come over, you guys, free, pecans for everybody. And they love to tease our dogs. They will get right into their face. They'll come down the tree, down to a point where they think the dogs can't reach them, and they will drive them crazy. The squirrels like to get on the ridge of the roof here in the studio, and it's kind of a high pitch, and they will straddle the top of the roof. Literally, they got their legs straggling it with their little arms and just driving the dogs crazy. And the dogs, like, say, here's the roof, and they're laying, they lay up here all hoo 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 and laughing at the dogs, and the dogs go over here and bark at them, and then the dogs think, oh, maybe if we go on the other side, we'll get them, and they run over here, and then he just looks at them and wags his tail at them, and what I call cussing out, and then they'll run back, and he'll do that. He'll be up there for a half hour driving my dogs crazy. And I shouldn't say he, because several of them do it. And then they'll go over to the tree and they'll come down just where they think that the dog can't get them and drive the dogs crazy. Well, our dogs are not stupid. And our dogs, they won't jump up onto the tree. They'll just stay sitting, and they're very, very patient. They just sit, and the squirrel keeps coming down further and further, thinking that that's as far as the dog can reach. So they go, ooh, we better get further down so we can just drive those dogs crazy. Well, what happens? They get down to a certain distance, then the dog knows that he can grab him, and excuse me, but it is history for the squirrel. I cannot tell you how many squirrels within a 1 year season that our dogs get. And they all do the same thing. You would swear it was the same squirrel, but obviously it's not. But it's it's pretty crazy. Hi, Christine. Oh. But yeah, so those little guys are always asking for trouble, and my dogs will definitely accommodate them and give it to them because they're just crazy. They're just always teasing those poor little dogs. But little dogs, well, you know what I mean. They're big dogs, but they drive them crazy. And then it's curtains for them. And then my one dog, he's the mutt. He's about a 45 pound dog, and out of all of them, he's the craziest. And he'll grab that squirrel, and he makes sure that we know about it, and he doesn't want the other dogs to touch it, and he's kind of in panic mode all the time until we take it from him. And he wants us to take it because he doesn't want the other dogs to get it. So you have to go out there with the shovel, and he has to watch you take it over to the dumpster. And then once you put it in the dumpster, then he's all content. He can relax because as long as that squirrel's in the yard, he's nervous that the other dogs are going to steal it from him. He'll even bury it and then lay over it so that nobody, so the dogs won't get it. And he's come to the door before and bang on the door, and I go out there, and he comes, jumping on me and making me, follow him. And then he goes over and he digs up the squirrel, and I'm going, oh, gee, thanks. So I have to get the squirrel so he can relax. You're telling me, CJ, they've got lots of issues. They're crazy. Well, poor Busta, he has an excuse. See, parents, they make up excuses, for their little ones. But poor Busta now, he was born literally on the railroad tracks. His family was a pack of dogs that ran wild over on the railroad tracks. And my husband was involved with this rescue group, and they would go down to this particular area because there was a lot of homeless down there. And so what they would do is go down with heartworm medication and stuff like that. They would uh, there was a vet that was with them. They would draw blood, they would test them. They knew where they were always living, and so then they would go and get medication for them for the dogs. And so they would get to know, what dogs were in the area, and they would let us know. And so then we found out that over in this industrial area by the railroad track, that there was I think it was 6 dogs, a litter of dogs. And so we go, okay. So we went and we told, one of the wardens about it. And they said, well, we don't have too many people. I don't know. We don't have time to go get them because they were always hiding. You had to like search these dogs out. Well, anyway, they ended up giving my dad. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I must be tired. They ended up giving my husband. Don't try and analyze that one, CJ. Okay. So um, they gave my husband one of those traps, dog traps. So they put it out, and the dog, because the puppies, I think by then we saw them pretty much when they were born, and so they were now probably about 6, 7 weeks old. So we figured, if you're going to get them, you better get them. So they put the trap out there, and they ended up getting all of them except for one. It took about a week or two to get them, but they ended up getting them all except for the one. And they knew where he was. They could see him, but they couldn't catch him. He was always hiding. He'd get underneath. There was this area where there was a bunch of concrete that had been, picked up from somewhere, slabs, and just kind of thrown in this area. So they kind of created these little caverns and little caves where they kind of crisscrossed each other. And he would go in there and nobody could go and get him. So they were still feeding him, and so one day I told him, I said, you're never going to get him if you feed him every day. I said, don't feed him for a day, then go take, the trap out there and put the food in the trap. And that's the only way you're going to get him. So, so finally they do get him. They get the little dog. But he's now, I forget how old he is. I can't remember. And so they're saying, after a certain age, they're kind of like become a feral dog. If you can get them, while they're still a certain age as a puppy, you can pretty much, make a pet out of them. And after so long, it becomes more difficult. Well, anyway, he was a little past what they would call the difficult point, that they got him. And um, the other ones that we had captured, um, homes were found for them, and they had already been, given a home. And so this guy needed a foster home. So we brought him in, and he was a little crazy. I mean, he wanted to bite us and everything. He growled at us, and he was what I would call vicious. A ball of fur and vicious. And so it took some time, but he acclimated. But anyway, he still has that, what I would call like this kind of wild dog mentality. And so he's the one that's a little, when it comes to the squirrels. And I think because he had to fight for everything when he was a puppy, and some of those bigger dogs that were there would kind of beat him up, and he had to fight for his food. I mean, he's like a tough guy. And you can really see how a lot of those instincts come to play just on everyday activity he has, interacting with our dogs. Even though he's been with us now, I think he's 4 or 5 years old. You still see that come out, you know. You can see it come out in him in a lot of different ways. He's the smallest dog we have, and he's the boss. He bosses all those dogs. They're all afraid of him. We have 2 Rottweilers and a German Shepherd, and the mutt is in charge. All he does is he gives them the evil eye, and they walk away. They won't eat out of his dish. They won't lay on his pillow. They will not do anything. I think if I could read those dogs' mind, they're saying, he's a psycho. Don't set him off. Give him whatever he wants. He's a psycho. But he's really cute. He's a lot of fun, and he's learned to become affectionate, and you know, when he on his terms, when he wants a hug, he wants a hug, and when he doesn't, he doesn't. So he's a really cute guy. And then I always say that, he does his little rin tin tin routine, because when there's something going, he's not a big barker. He hardly ever barks. I think again, it was like, when he was out in the wild, I think the dogs, I bet you his mom told him, shut up. They're going to find out where you are. You're going to get eaten alive. Just lay low and be quiet, because he just doesn't hardly bark. And for the longest time, we thought he was mute, because it was a long time before we even heard a bark out of him. And I go, Richard, he barked, he could talk. We hadn't heard him make a sound. And, but anyway, whenever there's some kind of activity, he doesn't bark. The guy, he'll come over. What he does, he comes over to the side of the bed, and he gets his paw. He just goes like this. He puts it on my shoulder. He doesn't bark. He doesn't do anything. If I don't wake up right away, then he picks it up. He'll put it back on my shoulder like, hello, I need to go outside. And that was about it. But the other day, my husband went for a sleep study. And when you go to a sleep study, I guess, they don't let you sleep very long in the morning. They get you up, I think, like 5 o'clock or something like that in the morning. Well, you know me, look at what time I'm awake. So obviously I don't get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, I made the mistake when I locked the door, on the back door. We have a what do you call those kind of doors? A security door, like a storm door, security door. And if you lock it with the key and leave the key in, you cannot unlock it from the outside. And I wasn't thinking, just routine. I locked it from the inside and left the key in there. And so when my husband came home, like at 5:30 in the morning, which I'm asleep. I've only been asleep like what, 2 hours by then, maybe. I don't know. And I didn't hear him. Again, my dogs didn't bark. He's knocking on the door, banging on the door. I didn't hear him. So here comes the little guy, and he comes over. Meanwhile, nobody's barked, nobody's made a sound. He comes over, and I feel him kind of like touching me, and I'm going, oh man, I just went to bed. What's wrong with you? So I didn't pay attention to him. I was trying to wake myself up. And then all of a sudden, because our dogs aren't allowed on our beds, he practically jumped on the bed and he's going like this, And then I wake up and he sees me wake up and he turns around in circles and then he comes back and he jumps on me again. And I'm going, what is wrong with you? And then I hear my husband. So, even with all that, he did his little lassie thing, but he didn't bark. He came and let me know what was going on. And the other dumb dogs are just in the back looking at my husband look through the window. They're a bunch of crazy animals. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do without them, Anyway, so that's my story of the feral dog that thinks he's Lassie, but he's mute. And is a squirrel hunter. So that's that story. Okay, I've talked too much like usual. And now it's about a half hour past the time I told you I was leaving, and I'm still here. And thank you for staying with me and listening to all that stupidity. And and I want to let you guys, if any of you have been following my saga of me wanting to get this crazy journal started, I'm going to that I want you guys to join me. I'm going to invite you guys to join me doing this journal. And I'm going to have the details hopefully by next week. I'm going to get serious between all the weather, crazy weather and flooding and all the crazy stuff we had around here and some medical things. I kind of put it on hold. And so I hope to start fresh before the end of this month is over and maybe next week. And so I'm going to kind of detail my thought process and coming to want to do this journal, how you can participate with me, and how we can kind of do maybe this journal together. I think it'd be pretty fun. And if it's something you guys think you might want to do, then maybe we can, make a journal together or something. If you're going to make your own journal, and we can, start that going together. So hopefully, we can do that. But anyway, so that hopefully, that'll be next week if I stay on track. And I think it'd be kind of fun. So anyway, okay, enough of the ranting. And I got to go check on my dogs and let them out. And I got to go to bed. And I have a long day tomorrow. And I have to go to the post office. And I got to work. And then maybe in the afternoon, I can do some of my eco-dyeing. You just never know. All right, ladies. Again, thank you so much for keeping me company and listening to my stupid stories. And 15 wallpaper books. Oh my God. Okay. CJ, you cannot do me up. Hold on a second. Let me show you guys something. Whoops. Oh, I love those little wallpaper things. Hold on. Where is, okay. Woo-hoo. All right, I've already torn some of this one apart. Oh, and look how coordinated I am. I just can't believe myself. See that? Do you see this? This may not be wallpaper, but look at that. Ta-da! Although I think I'd rather have the wallpaper. Um, there's this place. I wasn't able to go over there because, like I said, we had so much flooding. Literally the interstate, the only way to get out of my town, the interstate, the bridge was shut down because they were, well, first the water was rising really, really high, but they were concerned about the integrity of the pilings and everything, and they wanted to check it once the water had lowered. But anyway, so seriously, this is where I live, and this is Van Buren, and there's the bridge, and here's the river. And it's only like maybe 2 miles from, maybe 3 miles from my house. And this is Van Buren, and this is me. Well, I couldn't get there. Obviously, it's closed unless I go like, an hour out of the way. Well, there was this place downtown. They were closing up, and they had all of these, each one for $1, people. $1. So I called up a friend that lived over here and said, sometimes when these things are, because it was on that feed on Facebook, I said, sometimes those feeds are deceiving. They tell you a price, you call, and they're just lying. They're just switching bait. They go, well, we have this for $1, but that's not for $1. You know what I mean? So anyway, so I said, can you go check? And she goes, yeah, let me go check. So she says, yeah. She goes, they are for $1. I said, oh my goodness. So I said, okay, great. I'm gonna, because they had said that the bridge at that particular time, they said the next day the bridge was going to, or the next few days the bridge was going to be reopened. So I said, oh, goody, goody, goody. So so the next day my friend called, and she goes, you don't have to come. I went and got you some. She got me 18 of these, and they're all, obviously, they're all different. All of them. All of them. Look. How do you get the paper off the back? Some of these it's super easy. Some of them they're not super easy. This one's almost super easy. This is half super easy. That's half super easy. But all you have to do really is just put a damp cloth over them, and they come off pretty easily. Pretty easily. The hard part with this one, see, I already took the papers off. There's a little bit that didn't come off, but I already attacked all these. Well, not all. There's a couple that still have some. Well, I attacked most of them. Let's put it that way. But the hard part actually was discombobulating this thing. It was like, what? I mean, because look, there's no screws, there's no nails. It was like, how do you open this? Well, I had to take practically a crowbar and snap it. And what they have, it's got like industrial glue in here. I mean, it isn't like just regular old wacky glue. It's like, it's tough. And then once you get it open, all of this, these are the staples that are keeping them together. That was crazy, trying to get these crazy staples out. It was crazy. That's all I can say. And I've only taken one apart. I still got 17 to go. Oh my gosh. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, I don't know any place around here, actually. I've looked. I don't know of any place around here that even sells wallpaper anymore. Isn't that crazy? Well, I don't live in a real sophisticated place, maybe. I don't know. Like even the crazy places like Lowe's and Home Depot and stuff like that, they used to sell wallpaper, and they had you know, all those things. They don't even sell wallpaper anymore. I guess I'd have to go find some interior decorating place, which I don't even know if we have one. That's how bad we are. I live in Hicksville. Hicksville. No, I'm sure there's interior decorators. I'm just not in that crowd of people that would know. Oh, that would know where they are. See, there's the Staples, and they're that big. And then in the back, they have some coming up. So it's quite an ordeal. Oh, look, this one's coming up on its own. Now the other, oh, see, that one didn't do that. See? Anyway, so she told me that the lady told her that I think she's going to be selling them for another week, and then she's donating them to something. I forget what she said they were donating them to. So I don't know who would want them as far as like being donated, but anyway. Hey, this one was easy. Oh, I have the touch now. I have the touch. Oh, yeah. And then the other thing is, then they're all glued on the top here like a book. So I have to pull them all out one by one. Even, you know, oh, there's the other staple that's coming up from the bottom. So, yeah, it took me, I'm not exaggerating, it must have taken me over an hour just to get that one pulled apart, because it's just crazy. It's all glued, and then I had all of this lint all over me. It was crazy. So bottom line is, you got to really want this fabric to go through all the trouble. But she knew the kind of stuff I liked, and she got the colors, obviously. She got the colors that I like. And you know, the ones I don't like, they'll probably go out with my orders. If people are interested in some of them, I'll throw them in if it doesn't put the weight over into a next category. But anyway, okay, again, I gotta go, people. Shut me up. I gotta go. I'm just rambling out of being tired. I really am. Okay, it's really good night time. All right, I will I'm gonna do a video hopefully soon about that journal, and maybe we can do that journal together. Okay, ladies? Again, thank you so much. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.